Hi, it's Christina with the Sisyphean Journal, and today we're going back to 1979. A young woman named Gail had been very active in her high school, competing in gymnastics, the track team, and she was part of the Historical Society. After graduation, Gail got a job as a beautician. At the age of 20, in the summer of 1979, Gail discovered that she was pregnant. On Saturday, July 13th, her boyfriend drove her to Fort Wayne, Indiana to undergo an abortion at Fort Wayne Women's Health Organization. Gail was about 10 weeks into her pregnancy. Interestingly enough, the abortion was not performed by a local doctor, but by a New York doctor, Taskin Rathathorn. Sorry, I can't pronounce it correctly. The only thing I've been able to find out about this guy is that he got into some trouble in New York over misreading radiology reports. So come back next year. I'll always try to see if I can find out more about him. Now, the clinic had only been in operation since June 10th of 1978, and it was part of a chain with facilities in Florida, Georgia, New York, New Jersey, and Wisconsin. In August of 1978, the clinic had joined another Indiana abortion clinic, Women's Pavilion, in its bid to block the state from requiring that abortion clinics adhere to the same standards as other outpatient ambulatory surgery facilities. Now, these two clinics that didn't want to be licensed argued that it would shut down every abortion clinic in the state. However, Indianapolis Women's Center in Indianapolis was licensed under the guidelines, and another clinic, Meridian Women's Clinic, had been licensed but just dropped its licensing after Roe on the grounds that, what the hell, we can do whatever we want. And Indiana had originally attempted to require that abortions be performed in a licensed facility or hospital, but that decision was struck down by the federal court in Arnold versus Sendak in 1976. Now, James Brillhart, co-owner of Indianapolis Women's Center, told the Indianapolis Sun that meeting the outpatient surgery center requirements increased his capital costs, including $1,000 for a backup generator, and led to an increased cost of about $20 to $25 per abortion, which is roughly $90 to $114 in 2022 dollars. But he noted, according to the Supreme Court, you can perform an abortion in a taxi cab if it's done by a licensed physician. He felt that the licensing requirements were medically necessary and asserted that licensing could keep unscrupulous individuals who are just one step ahead of criminal abortionists from practicing in Indiana. He said if people were not unscrupulous, if good doctors would set these up and run them, if they were viewed as medical facilities rather than investments, regulation wouldn't be necessary. I don't like to see legislation restricting good physicians' practices, but the wrong people take advantage of abortion, and so we need licensing. He did not win his argument. The judge sided on the side of the clinics who said, hey, according to Roe, we can do abortions in a taxi cab if we want to. So into this environment walked Gail. Within a few hours after her abortion, she was showing signs that she was sick, so the clinic recommended that her boyfriend take her to a hospital. So he drove her to nearby Lutheran Hospital, where she was admitted under the care of Dr. Ramesh Bhatt. In spite of dialysis performed to try to make up for her deteriorating kidney function, she died at 11:22 a.m. on Wednesday, July 18th. The coroner concluded that her death had been caused by Clostridium perfringens, or gas gangrene, which had caused her blood cells to deteriorate and her kidneys to shut down. Now, Gail's death was investigated by Allen County health officials and the Centers for Disease Control, who questioned other women who'd undergone abortions at that clinic. However, I've been unable to find anything else about that investigation. And the CDC gave very short shrift to abortion surveillance in general and abortion deaths in particular in 1979 and 1980. So we have no way of knowing whether the facility fell short in its care of Gail or whether her death was just a fluke.